What is up, my lovely people in Blue Tablet land? So for today's video, guys, I'm going to be drawing y'all this monster-looking candy corn. If that's something y'all are interested in, stick around and let's get started. So initially, I was just going to draw like a regular candy corn, but then I was like, that's going to be kind of boring. So I figured I'd do it where it kind of looks like he's an invisible monster, kind of like, hiding around the area where the candy corns are made, and then somehow by accident he kind of falls into this batch of the area or the mixing bowl where the candy corn was being made. And I kind of wanted to give him this kind of like a wet, kind of drippy kind of look, so it almost seems like, the candy corn ingredients had fallen over him, and while they were going to place him on some sort of drying sheet or an area where he's going to be proofed, he was trying to kind of get up and kind of like run along. As I continued to do the line art and I was looking at the piece, the drippy look that I've kind of decided to give him kind of reminded me more of those ice creams that you get, which have the vanilla on the top, the chocolate in the center, and then they have some sort of a strawberry base. And this is kind of really what they would look like if it were melting on a hot day. So that's the kind of look. I think this also would have been ideal for if I was drawing some sort of a Halloween themed ice cream. This illustration, along with the other simpler ones I've done on the playlist so far, like the owl and the ghost, I kind of intentionally did this so that way it kind of shows the viewer that, not everything has got to be like, that real intermediate kind of drawing. Some things can be simple, and then some things, you can take it to the next level if you want to try along. And another thing I always forget to mention in any of my videos is, if you guys ever feel that I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video and, draw up to the point which you feel comfortable, and then restart it. You don't really have to do it at the pace, because sometimes what I do just to save some time, even though it looks like I'm drawing this quickly, it's not really the case. I'm just kind of speeding it up just by a little bit, so the video doesn't end up being like an hour-long video or something more than that, because I know getting somebody to watch 15 minutes to an hour is near to impossible, unless you got like a movie playing in the background. But I figured, if you keep it at a decent pace, the people out there that want to follow along will be able to follow, and then be able to pause and take a break and continue it either way. So I've been playing around with the YouTube community tab, and I kind of want to put a poll out there to find out from the viewers that are on the channel, what kind of videos do you think will get you all the most value? Do you all like something that is a tutorial video, like from start to finish, or do you all have any suggestions for topics? Because the whole point of this channel was just to do an how to draw channel, and go from there. But just wanted to throw that out there. So now for the coloring, I decided to keep it simple and just go with white for the top of the candy corn, some little shine to his pupil, orange for the middle, and then the brightish kind of yellow that they usually have at the bottom. And then I figured for the eyes, I would kind of do like this beige color and keep the same color for the teeth as well. So when it comes to coloring or usually choosing colors, I try to keep it limited, because otherwise it tends to get a little bit busy. And let's see, that light brown kind of looks a little better than the other one. But it was really simple, I guess, for the coloring part of this, because it was only like 4 colors used, maybe 5. And then for the shading, I'm just going to be doing the same thing what I've done in my other videos, which is use the line art and just turn down the opacity. Now for this one, I kind of just went with 30% because I mean it's a light illustration, and if you feel like 30 is too light, you can go ahead and bump it up to 40, and that's again completely up to you guys. What do you feel like and what do you want to do it or change it to? For me, I felt 30 was nice enough for the illustration. And for me, another extra step that I got to look at is when I'm looking at the display, it shows one color, but then when I look at it from the actual camera lens, I mean the color is a little bit off, so I kind of got to adjust that as I'm going and recording, so that way it doesn't look like I'm not doing nothing. Because I remember looking at the Pennywise video after I'd uploaded it, there was a certain shade which I was able to see doing the illustration, but then for some reason when I uploaded it, the color was just kind of like blending in, so it kind of just looked like I was just making these imaginary lines on the screen and then nothing was happening. So from doing all of these illustrations and kind of learning and teaching myself as the days go by, two colors I would definitely recommend and keep an eye when you guys are doing an illustration is definitely red and purple, because these two colors, especially if you're doing a digital recording, the purple what you see on the actual display might be visible to you through your eyes, but when you actually look at it from the camera's lens point of view, for some reason the purple kind of fades off or kind of blends into the screen, and that's definitely a color I guess especially when you're making a video is to try and avoid. And I don't know if yellow kind of does the exact same thing. I think it depends if you're doing some sort of a highlight, but that's just a tip that I wanted to pass to you guys after doing these illustrations and trying different colors on the different illustrations and seeing which one works and doesn't work. So here for the mouth, I kind of wanted to give that gross kind of a gooey saliva kind of look, but I figured the white would kind of camouflage, so I kind of just used the shadow over here of what would happen in the mouth to kind of play against that, and there you can see it. And now for the actual highlights, since this is a candy and most candies are usually shiny in nature, I figured the highlights would definitely help bring out the whole characteristic of that nice shiny texture that they usually have, that nice glowy sticky look. I think when it comes to candy canes and any kind of candy for that matter, that's sugar infused, you always have that nice glossy kind of shine. So that's what I was going to do with the whole highlight part of it. Another thing fun that I like about using the highlight layer and using white and then turning down the opacity to about 70 is the color almost gets like this glowish kind of a look, when in reality all it is just the opacity that is turned down and you're just kind of seeing the color that's underneath come right through. But I think another fun pen, or not pen but brush to use, is the some sort of a glow kind of a thing that they have in Procreate. I don't know the name, it's not coming to me right now, but I think that would have been another good option to use for this whole glowing layer. But anyway guys, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this video up and saying thanks to all my followers for following along, and to any of the new people that may have come on board and are looking. So we'll finish this up and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care guys, bye for now.